Hey guys, greetings. So, welcome back once again. It's been a very long time that we have posted the last video where I got some heavy works, a lot of the different tight commitments and personal stuffs as well. It's been a very hectic day span. My bad. From now, whatever the things, I will regularly post the videos, at least up to the basic concept, so that we can really kickstart our gameplay programming journey, real world gameplay programmer journey. But before that, we will cover the basic stuffs in the Unreal Engine. So that is independent to the job roles. Like you can be a cinematic artist, or you can be the um, architecture specialist, or you can be the game designer, whatever. We will just cover the basics of the blueprints that might be helpful for the people. Like I said, it's independent of the job roles. So, sorry once again, and we will really start our basic things in the Unreal Engine, that journey. So, without any further delay, let's get started. So, in the previous video, we have left with the part like how to install the Unreal Engine, right? So, in this video, this is the welcome screen for us when we start created the third person template project. This is the welcome screen. So here we will, I decided to make this video in the two parts. So we will cover the first three layers, this one and this one in this video, because it will be longer enough so that it will get bored. Okay, we need to really understand the things instead of watching the things and just scrolling up. We need to really understand those things. So I decided to make it as the two separate videos. Let's get started. So file menu. So file menu. So file menu means it will contain the project and level related stuff. So example, let's say you need to save the project, you need to create the new project, you need to export some things, export the project as the zip file. All those things will be found under that. Level also will be, we can also create the levels, like we can create the level, open the level. So like I said, it's the menu for project and level related operations. Let's see now. So if I click here, you can see we have the new level, open assets. So it is also the same purpose. So current, save current level as, and all the level related operations and project related operations can be found here. So this is the important part as well. So we need to use those things, like if you need to port your project, you can use the zip project. It will be automatically zipped. All right. And the next stuff is edit. So edit option will basically contain the common options that we will use with the Windows: cut, copy, paste operations, and the project in-depth settings also can be found there. Like we can import some other people's work, so using the plugins, or if you need to customize the editor, or you need to change any editor related settings or any project related settings, we can use that. So we will definitely talk about that more detail when we start our next section. Okay, and I will show the things now. So if you see here, cut, copy, paste, duplicate, delete. So editor preference will actually allow you to customize the editor related settings, and the project settings will help you to just customize the project settings, like what is the first map that the project should really open. So those kind of settings will be there. So when we start the real-time things, we will just set up a lot of the different things in the tabs. And the next part is Windows. Windows, this is the very important tab, which sometimes, mostly, I messed up with the Windows. Like this is the world settings. Sometimes I just cancel this one and I will start searching those things. So if something is missing, then we can go for the Windows, and we have deleted the world settings last time, right? So world settings, we can just use it and it will be automatically restored. So this is the sole purpose of those things. All right. So any missing tabs can be restored here using those things. And next one is tools. So tools will contain the workflow related options. So workflow related options means mostly I will use the class viewer, struct viewer. Where is it? Yeah, it's here, struct viewer, and we can use some debug related stuff. If you need to have the GitHub control, I mean the source control things, you can just connect to the source control here. We can just sync the content. You can just pull and push operations. Those can be done within there. And apart from this, I think from the Unreal Engine 5.2, we can use the C++ header preview. So if we start using the C++ header preview, then we can able to um, see the blueprints actual C++ version. I mean the header version of the blueprint. It will be much helpful for the programmers. So we will definitely use that later. Yeah. And build setting, this is useful to cache the level optimized stuffs like lighting, building the navigation, building the geometries, etc. Lot of the different things you can be able to cache those things. So you see, build the reflection capture, pre-compute the static visibility, and build the landscape only. A lot of the different stuff you can just basically what is meant by the building, it will just cache the data so that you can able to work freely, right? So these options can be found under the build tab. Select, I'm not sure I have used this in my career. Lol. Maybe uh, I remember I have used it in the rare scenario where I need to select all the blueprints of the in the scene, like all the blueprints in the level with the same class. Maybe imagine I have spawned a lot of the different weapons, like I can select, oh, I don't need these weapons, then I don't need to select each and individual weapons. I can select, yeah, one particular weapon and I can go for the select, and I think I can select the matching assets here. Okay, so that it will be like we can select all the assets and we can able to delete easily. So like this, I used this one very least. Yeah. So this option is basically used to select the things. It could be, maybe it could be useful for the designers. Yeah. And actor, this could be helpful in some scenarios. A lot of the different scenarios, like let's say I have these three cubes here, right? So in this three cubes, maybe I can group them together or I can merge them in the single actor, and we can change the pivot of those. And let's say if I am watching here and I need the cube to get back to my viewport where my camera is now viewing from the angle, right? So I can just snap the object here using this option here. So I can also, this is also one of the important part, like control B is the keyboard shortcut, but if you need to have the UI kind of stuff, then we can browse to the asset. It will automatically track the asset in the content drawer. Then help option, it will be much more helpful for me in just because actually as a programmer we will forget a lot of the different things. Yeah, like sometimes I messed up with the C++ references, like what is the include file for this. I really forget those things. And especially the console command, this is very powerful, right? So you can just say console variables. If we start clicking this, uh, it will open the browser, and you can go for the documentation page so that you can do a lot of the different stuff. And you can also go for the community forums, Q&As, report a bug. A lot of the different stuffs are there, but mostly people will use for these three. Okay, yeah, that's all about the first category. Second category is basically this area is useful for dock the tab we want to work. Okay, control space is the keyboard shortcut for open the content drawer. Maybe for my style, I'm using the dock-in layout. So it could be much beneficial for me. So you can see now the tab is getting docked here, right? So control space is the keyboard shortcut and browser is open there. So if I just start opening the default third person blueprint, then you see my tab is getting stacked up one by one. But I need those things, I need the tab to switch between those things. Then what should we need to do? We can just drag and drop this, and now you can see you can easily switch between those things. So like this is the very basic example. Like whatever the things, whatever the options, whatever the window workflow you need to do, you can just dock it up in this sideways manner so that you can switch between the tabs. And I can also right click on your tab and I can close all tabs to the right. Yeah, so it will automatically close all the tabs to the right. Yes, so that's the use case of this section. And save option, this is the save option. Mostly you know about that, right? So save option, and this is the search option. So let's say I am just clicking up the characters here, or maybe any other person, any things. Now if I click the same thing, I can be prompted to the third person map. So this will find the lost interacted asset. Not that much useful tool, to be honest. Okay, and modes panel. So this is the very important panel or very important tab in the Unreal Engine where it will contain the lot of different modes are there. So we can have the selection mode, we can have the landscape mode. I think totally it will be 7, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 options are there. 8 different modes are there. So I will just give the overview of this. Later we will talk about each and every mode, and we will start our workflow with those things. Okay. So selection mode, this is the default one. If I select this one, I can just move, or I can just rotate, or rotate like this. I can do all the operations like so. I need to be in the selection mode to do all those stuff. If I go for the landscape mode, see you can able to build the environment or the land mass that is required for the that is required for our level. And foliage mode helps to build the trees and the vegetation stuff that is required for the level. So let's say you are making a game world like Last of Us, then you need to place lot of different trash materials, lot of different decayed materials that is scattered around the entire game world. So at that time you can't able to just drag and drop from the content browser each and every time. So you will start painting those assets one by one. So that could be much more easy. Then we can have the mesh paint. We will talk about this later. For instance, if you need to just paint on the walls, like imagine you have the spray can and you are spraying on the wall, those kinds of effect that can be done with the mesh painting. We will definitely talk about this one in the detail. Modeling, the name itself defines the meaning where you can create the uh, models for the game, not perfected, but still you can able to make almost good enough to create the props within the Unreal Engine editor. You don't need to rely upon the external DDC tools, right? So fracture, next one. So fracture helps to actually break this cube. It can be break down into pieces, right? So using the fracture mode, we can able to visualize like when it was broken with the physics. So it will be much um, important tool as well, and it could be also one of the performance oriented tool as well. So we should need to use this properly. Then we can go for the brush editing. Uh, I'm not sure, but I think it is similar to the vertex mode and the object mode in the 3D content creation tools like the Blender and the Maya. I didn't use it, to be honest. And animation, it's a very important and highlighted feature in the Unreal Engine 5 that we can able to make our custom animation within the engine. So there is no dependency of the other tools. I mean, the dependency has been greatly reduced. With the help of the control rig, now you can almost create any kind of animations. All right. So these are the different kinds of mode. So we will get back to the selection mode, and we will, if there is a need for any of the mode, we will definitely see those things. Okay. And place actor panel. So place actor panel or add actor panel. Um, if I select this, you can see the place actors like basics of those things like basic lights, cinematic things. Cinematic means you can just say, imagine I need to place a camera over this, or I can place a different shapes over like cube, sphere, cylinder. So like this, if you need to place any of the actors, you can just drag and drop into this. By the way, what is meant by the actor? We should need to always keep this in mind. Actors means we are living in the world. What is meant by the world? World means the entire viewing area. So it's very big, and you can imagine that was the infinite. And what is meant by the level? Level means the particular thing. So this is the gameplay area, right? So this is considered to be the level. We will definitely talk more about that when we are working with the level streaming. One of the most important thing that we should definitely need to know when we start making the games. As a gameplay programmer, it's a mandatory skill. And next option is the level blueprints. So level blueprints will helpful for making the level based change. Like imagine if this was a wave based shooter game. I am developing a wave based shooter game. So I can make my level to take the decision when to spawn the enemy, where to spawn the enemy. So those kind of logic can be handled by the level blueprints. And if the game is won, we can say the game is won. So this is helpful for the small games. Okay. Actual purpose of the level blueprints is like how it is the mostly people in the industry will use this for the environmental changes that can be happened within the level. Example, the wind and the ambient sound. All those things I prefer level blueprints is the best part for that. So yeah, and then cinematic icon. So it can help you to create the sequence asset. So with the help of the asset only, the sequencer window will get opened. Then you can able to take these cinematic things, which we will definitely talk about later. But you need to understand which option is placed where. All right. Then play, pause, simulate mode. So the name itself will define that. If I click the play, it will just simulate the game. Okay. So it will just simulate the sample output of the game. Okay. So I can able to pause the things. F8 is the keyboard shortcut for just unpossess the pawn. I can able to pause the simulation. I can get back to the simulation and I can stop the simulation. So I can possess back to the pawn.